Through the Darkest of Times is a so-called historical resistance strategy game developed by Paintbucket Games and released on the 10th of December in 2020 for Windows and Mac, Nintendo Switch, Android, iOS, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. You play as the leader of a very small resistance group starting in Berlin in the year of 1933. Your goal in the game is to deal small blows to the Nazi regime, dropping leaflets to spread awareness about what the Nazis are up to, painting messages on walls, sabotaging, gathering information, and recruiting new members and followers to the group, hiding people, delivering intel, smuggling and distributing banned books, helping Jews and gypsies, etc. You start the game by rolling your character's gender and traits, then choose what they should look like. After that, you are transported to the meeting room, and from here you access a map with different missions. You pick a mission, choose whom of your members to send, and if he/she should bring any items with him, or her, or him, or whatever. After that, it's all up to the RNG gods if you fail or succeed with the mission. The game plays in turns and chapters. Every turn is 1 week and a chapter is covering a specific period of the Third Reich. You got seizure of power in 1933, peak in 1936, war in 1940/1941, and collapse in 44/45. The concept is intriguing and the description of the game sounds exciting, as I'm a big fan of both history and all sorts of stories about ordinary people rising up and fighting against the machine that is the state. So I had high hopes of committing sabotage and all forms of treason against the Nazi state. But my hopes were crushed, much like the Poles were when Hitler invaded in 1939. The story is fine. The graphics are, well, not that good, but they work. As long as the underlying gameplay is okay, everything would be fine with this game. But the gameplay loop is extremely boring. This is more like a board game instead of a video game, or a visual novel with a really bad strategy game underneath the hood, because there is no strategy here to speak of, and neither your choices or protagonists really matter that much to you. It's all like blah blah blah. As long as you stay above a certain threshold regarding the moral of the group and the amount of supporters your group has, you will complete a chapter even if you haven't done any of the most important missions. So you will mostly just try to gather resources and survive till the next chapter. And everything moves in a snail's pace in this game, making a playthrough way longer than necessary, which means that it actually wastes your life with waiting time. There is no real sense of progression whatsoever, and the little actions you do take, except for begging for money and recruiting supporters, does not matter as you move from one chapter to the next. Everything in this game just feels so pointless and boring, even though the setting and the idea of the game are perfect, but the developers have failed in the execution. I actually quit playing several times and thought I would just skip the rest of the game as it is so slow and tedious, but I played it all the way through, and I can say as much. If you are interested in history and love to read, I recommend you to pick up a book about the rise and the fall of Nazi Germany instead of paying for this and then wasting your life on it. I had a hard time motivating myself to keep on playing, almost from the first get-go, and after a while I just got more annoyed for every turn of the game. This is not a good game, and even if it would have been released 20 years ago, this still wouldn't have been a good game. I was bored already after the first chapter of the story mode. The graphics are, well, I don't want to say bad, but my own personal taste finds the design quite shitty, and the soundtrack is just horrible. The background track is okay once you first hear it, but you will get fed up as there are like 2 songs in total and 3 different annoying as hell sound effects while sending people on missions. It sounds like an alarm of some sort, signaling that something has gone wrong or you have been seen, etc. But no! Fail or succeed, you will hear the same rattling sound of terror and doom over and over and over and over again. This game is extremely shallow and repetitive, and it's not any fun to play. Score 3 out of 10. Do not buy. Peace out, people.